Okay guys, what happened right now is crazy because as of right now, Canada and the US are in a trade war, and Trump is calling Canada again to be the 51st state, and US officials are saying that Canada doesn't even have a military. It's bollocks. It's crazy what's happening between Canada and the US. So that's the story that we're going to be starting today's video off with, but at the same time, we have some really wild other stories because there is a Georgian man who got the police all over Georgia looking for him because of 30 bucks. We also have the Philippines trying to ban Roblox. A Chinese robot that beat Usain Bolt's record. So a lot of wild stories, but the one that we're focusing on the most today, and we're starting off with, is the first story. Because, guys, the trade war between Canada and the US right now is wild. What happened? Okay, let me tell you the story. So Canada and the US sell and buy from each other a lot, like billions of dollars worth of goods every single year. Actually, did I say billions? No. Hundreds of billions even, like a crazy amount of selling and buying, okay? But the problem started last month when Trump decided that he's gonna be putting 50% tariffs on a lot of Canadian stuff, okay? Canada obviously doesn't want the tariffs put on them, so Trump was like, okay, you know what? I'll give you a month. Make up a deal, make up a good deal so that I would change my mind about putting those tariffs on you, okay? And I was like, okay, sure. I'll cook up a good deal. And then on August 18th, they were like, you know what? We have a deal. Canada went to the US with a deal. Everything seemed good. Trump even said, oh, we have a deal with Canada. We're happy. The deal seems good. I even made a video about it and I said, okay, done. There are no tariffs that are going to be put on Canada. Fantastic. They are all happy. Then the final day before the deadline, according to Mark Carney, Canada's prime minister, the US changed their position a little bit. They were like, you know what, guys? The deal that we made, I'm going to be changing a little bit. I don't like it. And apparently, they changed a lot of things that Canada did not find okay. For example, they wanted to put tariffs on Canadian trucks. So that affected a lot of Canadians. So Canada was like, no, we don't like that. Another big problem is that the US wanted to control what Canada could do when it comes to trading. Basically, they wanted to tell Canada, the US wanted to tell Canada who and who they not should be trading with. For example, Canada has a trade deal with China. Well, the US wanted to be like, Canada, don't do that deal. And they wanted Canada to just obey. Yeah, that's what the US wanted. And right now, Canada has a lot of deals with a lot of other countries. It's a normal country that can make its own deals, right? But what the US wanted is that Canada obey them. And to be honest with you, Canada didn't have a problem. Like, not to obey them, but Canada was like, okay, I'm happy to talk to you about who we're going to be making deals with. Because Canada and the US are our neighbors, okay? But Canada was not okay with America controlling who they make deals with. And understandable, like, what kind of country wants another country controlling their decisions? None. And the third weird reason and weird thing that the US changed is that they wanted to change French. Yeah, so if you do not know, Canada speaks both French and English, okay? An area, like a province called Quebec in Canada, primarily speaks French. Well, apparently, according to Mark Carney, there were threats involving the French language, the Quebec culture, and the Canadian culture. Like, imagine trying to make a deal with India and going to them and be like, I don't want you to speak Hindi, for example. Or like, go to the Middle East and be like, oh, I don't want you to speak Arabic. What is going on? That's basically what we know of from the threat. So right now, Canada was like, nope, the US changed what we agreed on. They made a lot of weird demands, so we are not happy with that. So because the deal didn't go through, the tariffs started. And the US put 50% tariffs on Canada, as I told you. Canada wasn't like, it's okay, I'm not gonna do anything about it. No, Mark Carney actually was like, well, it's a war then. And he said that Canada intends to match America's newest tariffs dollar for dollar, which basically means if the US puts tariffs on Canada, Canada would put the same exact tariffs on the US. And now the tariffs on American stuff will include steel, dairy, appliances, agricultural equipment, pulp and paper, and electronics. So that will be a problem to both countries. Like, for example, as someone who lives in Canada, if I want to buy something from the US, I'm gonna be the one paying tariffs. Yeah, that's how tariffs work. I buy something from the US, I will pay tariffs on them. That's the problem. So why do they put tariffs? Basically, to make people living in the country not buy from the other country. So right now, for example, I live in Canada. If I have the option to buy something from the US or buy something from Canada, and let's say the thing from the US is a little bit cheaper, okay? So I'm gonna buy it from the US. But if we include the tariffs, then the US thing will be more expensive. So that basically makes me want to buy the Canadian thing, right? That's why they put tariffs. But because of that, the people who are actually suffering are the people in the country. Like, Americans are actually paying so much more because of those tariffs. And Trump was like, the tariffs are helping everyone. No, they're not. They're really not. Like, normal people living in the country are annoyed from the tariffs. Maybe the government is enjoying it. The government is getting a lot of money from that tariff, but not your regular people. Right now, there is some huge drama between Canada and the US. Like, the two countries are neighbors. They trade with each other a lot, in billions or trillions of dollars every year. But now this drama caused them to not work together, which really sucks. Then Trump comes out today and says that Canada wants to get all the privileges of being a state without being one, which basically hints that, again, he wants Canada to be the 51st state. And then there's this guy, Sean Duffy, the US Secretary of Transportation, who said that Canada doesn't have a military and that the US is basically defending Canada. Like, there is some crazy statements like that have been happening today. Thing is, yeah, maybe some of them are a little bit right in a way. Like, for example, yes, Canada does get some protection from the US. That is true. Because they're both in NATO. And yes, the US does pay a little bit more, or a lot more than all the other countries in NATO. But that doesn't mean that Canada doesn't have its own military. Like, Canada is also in NATO. Canada is also paying for NATO. And at the same time, guys, Canada did fight alongside America in Afghanistan. Like, yeah, if you want to say Canada relies on the US or gets some help from the US, yes. But saying that Canada doesn't have a military, 100% wrong. And it's just a statement to make people talk more or make people angrier. Also, going back to the part where Trump said that Canada wants to be, or Canada is a 51st state without being really a 51st state. No, because first of all, guys, let's be very blatant here. If Canada was a 51st state, they would have voted, and they wouldn't have voted for Trump, right? Plus, Canada doesn't get any of the privileges that the states get. Like, they don't get Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, their education funding, their infrastructure program, like none of that, right? They don't get any money from the US. They are trading with each other. That's how trade works. Like, for example, I sell you something. Yes, I get money, so that's good for me, but you get the thing. That's how it works. And the US is upset that they're selling things, or they're buying things from Canada. They're saying that Canada's not buying enough from them. Well, what do you want then? Like, make things that Canadians want to buy or Canada wants to buy. But to be honest, yeah, Canada has 40 million people. The US has more than 300 million people. So obviously people in the US is going to pay more. Anyway, guys, this whole thing is weird. It makes absolutely no sense, especially that there are two countries who have been working very closely together, trading a lot with each other, now having so much drama, like, especially that Canadians don't even want to go to the US or buy things from the US because of that drama. It's bad. It's unnecessary. It's something that didn't even have to be done. Like, you really didn't need to do that, right? Like, it could have been so much simpler, so much chiller. But you know what? I want to know your opinion. What do you think about this whole drama? Like, is the US exaggerating? Is Trump exaggerating with all those issues with Canada? Or does he have a point? Let me know what you think. But for our next story of today, we have a robot that broke the world record of 100 meters. Yeah, wild. Because back in 2009, a historic thing happened in Germany because Usain Bolt beat the 100-meter race in 9.58 seconds. Right? Insane. Crazy time. Like, till now, no one broke it. And I don't even know if it's gonna ever be broken. But it was broken. Not by a human, though. By a robot. Because the robot called Lightning, that was made by a smartphone company called Honor in China, finished the race, or the 100-meter race, in 9.32 seconds. That's insane. But you know what? Even though the headlines keep saying that, yeah, the robot broke Bolt's record, the robot is faster. Obviously, it's faster. It's a robot, right? Like, if I drive a car, I'm gonna beat the record. Like, what are you saying? Like, it's a robot. But, like, yeah, the robot does look like a human. It has arms and legs. And yes, robots right now are a lot faster than robots last year even, because robots last year didn't finish this race like that quick at all. No, like let's actually check the number. Give me 1 second. Yeah, found it. Last year they finished the race in 21.5 seconds. This year 9.38. Crazy. Yeah, I agree. But it's still a robot. It doesn't compare to Bolt's record whatsoever. So, is this the future? Yes. Are we going to be seeing robot Olympics in the future? I think so. I think we're going to be seeing that in the future. But is that like a crazy impressive thing? Also, yes. Well, you know what? I'm kind of impressed with that robot, to be honest with you. But is it better than a human doing that record? No, that's what we agree on. It's not better than a human. Anyway, but that's the future, so we'll see what's gonna happen more in the future. I really wonder what's gonna be like. What's the future gonna be like in 10 years? I really wonder. Anyway, for the next story, guys, we have the Philippines wanting to ban Roblox. Why? Because there was a school shooting that happened there. You might ask me, what does Roblox have to do with the school shooting? And I'll tell you the story. So the school shooting happened a few days ago, right? In a school called Ateneo de Zamboanga University, okay? In Zamboanga City in southern Philippines. And over there, a grade 9 student got his father's gun and went to school and shot a grade 10 student. Unfortunately, the grade 10 student passed away, and then the grade 9 student took his own life. And that's obviously horrible. But what was crazy is that the shooter actually had a body mounted camera on him, and he live streamed the whole thing on Facebook. Crazy, I know! But then because of that, Philippines Interior Secretary John Remula said that he was filming this because he's influenced by video games. You know, the whole video games causes violence thing. But Remula specifically said that the shooter's internet activity had a lot of Roblox, and Roblox is what caused like the action. So now the Philippines Interior Secretary wants to ban Roblox. But again, there are so many games that have the first person view, right? It's very common. So why Roblox? Well, Roblox also was being investigated a lot for child safety issues, for not caring about who are messaging children, all those stuff, right? So yes, there has been some investigation on Roblox anyway. So now Philippines are really looking if they're going to be banning it. What do you think? Is that a reason that it should be banned? Let me know what you think. And for the last story of today, guys, you guys see this guy? This 30-year-old dude, yeah, he looks like a normal old guy, right? Well, the police in Georgia put his picture online and asked the public for help identifying him. And at first, I thought that this guy did something horrible, like he killed someone or he stole something very, very important, or like maybe worse crimes, right? I was wrong. I was very wrong, because what did this guy do? He picked up a $30 bill, or like he found $30 on the floor of a Walmart, and he picked it up and he put it in his pocket. I'm serious. I'm actually serious. Yeah, like that's what he did. He put the $30 in his pocket. It was filmed on camera, and then the police was like, "Well, that's illegal." And they put his picture for the public to help. Like seriously, doesn't the police have anything better to do than look for a guy who picked up a $30 that fell on the floor? Yeah, apparently finders keepers is not really a law. Like if you find something on the floor, like the guy should have sent it to a Walmart like associate, which to be honest, if a Walmart associate got $30, the guy probably would have kept the $30 anyway, right? Like I don't know, but yeah, it's a wild story. The police was looking for him, but there's an update. The guy was found. Actually, they didn't really arrest him. Like based on what I saw from this post, I expected him to be arrested and go to prison for life because of that crime. But no, the guy got the $30 and he went back to the owner and he gave him the $30. Simple, right? Well, not all. That's not all what happened in the story, because apparently the person who lost the money wanted to pursue charges because he dropped $30. What is going on? Like, do people in Georgia have nothing better in their lives? Like, the police has nothing to do? Like, what is going on in Georgia? So I'm talking about Georgia the state, not Georgia the country, okay? There's a big difference there, yeah. Anyway, if you're from Georgia, I love you. Thanks for watching. But please explain to me what is going on in your state. Like, what is happening? What is your police doing? Okay, that's all for today. And again, if there are any stories that you want me to talk about, let me know in the comments. I love you all, and I will see you next time.